So today we are going to speak about the importance of knowing more than one language and how technically more than one language would help and how would it work in the business market. With the language translation, Martha. Martha, could you please introduce yourself and what you do for business?
Hi, I'm Martha Guzman, and I'm from Mexico. And for the past 14 years, I've worked in internationalization, which is you do translation, localization, and also some marketing for companies that want to enter a new market. So I'm in the process of launching my agency because I used to just freelance before, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Perfect. What is your agency? Where are you located? And what is your vision?
Okay, so I'm from Mexico, and ever since I was like 13, 14 years old, I learned English. I had been taking classes before, but didn't really sort of take it seriously because only when it clicked that to truly understand something that came in another language, you had to care enough to learn it. Did that happen? And once that happened, like I started to connect with the the importance of understanding how cultures are shaped by the language itself. So um, I have this I have a huge passion for both accessibility, like for people to be able to get the information and content and enjoyment out of things that would be good for them, that it would be fulfilling. And I also realized that a lot of people struggle a lot when they're trying to learn a new language. So that's how I got into translation, because I realized that I was able to do something that not everybody was able to do, and at the same time I was providing not only a service to the people that needed it, but also to the audience. And so my agency is called Double Your Market, like make it twice as big, because that's the idea. For an entrepreneur, they're going to look at the business opportunity. Like they're gonna get more people to be able to buy their product, but at the same time, it's not just like uh, financial growth. You're also going to reach more people. You're going to connect with some audiences that are desperately looking for something and they don't have access to it because it's in another language. And when you get the opportunity to learn another language and to practice it and to truly sort of get into the connection that comes with that particular language and the people that speak it, it's a very special thing. But a good stepping stone is to get access to the content that you didn't have before so that you know what you're missing. So I kind of want to just increase the accessibility to the information that is in different parts of the world and currently unreachable to certain audiences, while at the same time making sure that people are not too overwhelmed and they can take things at their own pace. So yeah, that's what I do.
So my next question is, would you serve or are your services localized or limited only to Mexico, or you can address international audience and customers?
We're focusing actually primarily on international audiences. We're working with entrepreneurs that are primarily focused in the United States to bring them to other countries outside the United States. I'm going to be mostly working with the Spanish team because I'm going to be in house with them, physically. But we're going to have people around the world depending on our on the language that they speak. We're going to have, because that's the idea, for people to be local so that they can truly connect with the audiences that we're localizing to. And hopefully also go the other way around so that products that are from like Brazil, they can get translated to languages around the world, products that come from Mexico to also be more international, and you know, all countries around the world to give them that opportunity to grow.
And how would that help the world now?
Well, I think that especially since the pandemic, it was very clear how suddenly in the whole world we all needed like online education and online connection to be able to continue with life. And so many countries like that were not so caught up into online learning, they realized that they needed to catch up really fast. And so I think that the main advantage of something like what I do is that there is no need for like an incubation period to create new content, because the information is already there, like for colleges, for different educational programs. That's already there. They just need to be able to reach the audiences that do not have access to them yet. And at the same time, like barriers have been broken, because you don't have to have like a huge brand and a huge like storefront in a big street or a huge office to be able to create something that can impact the world. So I think that just you know the content exists, you make it accessible to other people, and that is going to increase the connections that you have with the people that need it. And I I think it is good for like equality. Like why why shouldn't a person have access to the same information as someone else in another part of the world? Like that's something that's very important to me. And ultimately, like things like subtitles that make things accessible to people that might not be too fluent in a language or who might have a hearing disability, all those things sort of equalize the the, the ground for people to be able to participate in the same level. And sometimes that's needed, equal ability to access the stuff, and the growth is unlimited from there. It's you know
So,
something that
yeah, my next question is, what challenges would be involved in a let's say a language laden environment, in an environment that's full of language barriers and language transition from here to there and so on.
okay. Well, throughout the process when you do localization, you have to be sort of in two different minds, because you have to be very in tune with what the original content is. You have to be like in the original language, and then you also have to be very mindful of the culture that you're localizing to, because sometimes when you've been doing it for a long time, you sort of start adapting to the grammar and slang and all that sort of thing. So you have to be careful about that. And I some of the ways that I've found that help solve that is to actually work with more than one person. But the person that does the translation has to do it like originally themselves, because if you chop up the content, you're going to end up with a whole mess with different tone, different meaning, like some things get different names. And those are sort of like the practical challenges that you face when you're doing it. And having a different set of eyes that is going to work just with the final product to evaluate it and see exactly that it says what you think it says is very important. But also there are some challenges that come from prejudice, that some people think that like, why bother translating, like like that's let them learn English, and or I can just use Google to translate it. And that sometimes it doesn't seem that the people that are they would benefit from localizing their products understand the complexities of the of the job and how beneficial it would be for them. So I think that part of the impact that it can have to localize stuff is just so people see that it's indeed a complex uh, process that you have to take a lot of things into account, and that most of it, most of all, it is a worthy process. Something that has a lot of uh, a lot of benefits for a lot of people and a lot of value. So um, I think ultimately the main challenge that would be across both practical and sort of logistical logistic troubles would be appreciating exactly how important it is to sustain the project from beginning to end, and the effects that it can have on the people that are accessing the end product. So just taking it seriously, I guess.
Now you're going to start or to establish an international business. Do you think you have enough opportunity to succeed, or your opportunity or your the probability of your existence is limited?
I think I'm very lucky to say that there is a lot of room for growth. Uh, Obviously, I don't have a huge budget. I'm not a massive company that is just, changing paths. But having worked as a translator for so long, and like when I tried my hand at marketing, and when I tried to do like an internet course to teach people how to do that, and like I've been in teaching as well, like as English as a foreign language, like all those things have sort of taught me how big the opportunity really is, how needed this is, and like all the problems that exist in the current processes. So while I'm not like the biggest company, and my team is tiny, 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 I just have a few in-house collaborators, and well, there aren't even in-house because of the pandemic. Uh, they the growth that I can provide to my clients, and the growth that I can achieve as my company is entirely based on the fact that I understand the challenges that they might face, and that I actually really, really care, not so much about the monetary gains, about the marketing process, about all that big companies tend to care about, but about doing a good job and like supporting the the people that are going to do the translation, because I've been there. I've been a translator. The people that are going to be the entrepreneurs that are getting their new product and are going to get new audiences, and they might not know what to do with them. Like I know how to support them. So the whole system is um, I've created is built in a way that everybody feels supported, like from the entrepreneur to the translator to the end user, so that sometimes you buy a product and like, okay, it's in my language and it's nice, but then you cannot like call anyone for support if it fails, and that's covered too, because the team is going to be helping along the way once the product is sold. It's not going to be like done and you abandon them. So I'm very uh trusting that it's going to have quite a lot of impact. So I'm very excited about that.
Perfect. We are excited with you too. My next question is, how big would technology play in your business? Like nowadays, we see a lot of programs, a lot of technology, especially artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
uh, are doing this translation. How would that fit into your vision?
Well, a lot of companies like rely entirely on artificial intelligence for the translations, And I don't think that has a very good result. Like the end result is not natural. It's not. It doesn't feel real. Uh, for the big programs, like for example, when we're going to be translating books and we're going to translate courses that have a lot of hours of video, we will be using some software that it's to specifically to aid translation, but we're also going to do it manually, like, and we're going to be working with real people that are going to take on the project as a whole so that they are actually in tune with what the content is. But at the same time, because we're going to be working remotely, there is a lot of use of of technology because we're going to be building the websites as well. We're going to be mirroring the videos and all that, and we're going to be uh, editing video, editing audio, and using a lot of different softwares to do that. But ultimately, without the person, like a real human being at the end, doing the actual work of putting the meaning into words and checking that the meaning is there afterwards, you can't really have a good product. So, if the big software companies that help with translation were to disappear, we would still be able to do it, and that's I think that it counts for something.
Yeah. So my next question is, what would you say to the let's say the people who would support your project, who would pay for your project? How would you market your idea?
Well, um, imagine that you had a problem, like just some random problem, and that there was a solution for that. And the solution was like, within your means, like money wise, time wise, you know enough to put it in action. And it's like right there, just inside your computer. But you cannot access it because you don't speak a language. You don't even know it exists, basically, because of that language barrier. And well, imagine that you weren't the one with the problem, but that you were the solution. Wouldn't you want to help the people with the problem have access to it? And like if you have an internet course, if you have a training program, you're already doing that for a lot of people. You already know that your product works, you already know that it can impact people's lives. But there are 2 billion people in the world who speak English, and there are 6 billion who don't. So if there was a way for you to do nothing, basically, and help those 6 billion people that have no access to your product right now, while at the same time reducing the workload that you already have and increasing the authority that you have around the world, like the recognition that you get, the ability to sell, like wouldn't you do that? So like it's a I feel that it's very much a no-brainer. It's a huge opportunity. If you really care about your product, you want more people to have access to it, and the investment and the benefits are so well balanced. Like you have to spend money, but you probably can make that back within a month, and the impact that it's going to have along the years is going to be unlimited. So I hope that they will say yes.
Yeah. Okay. So regarding the translators that will be part of your program, part of your business, what should they expect? Like you are speaking about products, you are speaking about something from Mexico, something from Brazil, something from Chile. What should they study?
Okay. The system that I have, especially was designed with translators in mind, because I know what I loved when I did translation work, and I know what was just heart and mind breaking. Um, the the way that the agency is going to work is that we're going to connect people based on their interests, so that they can truly be like working with a company that feels aligned to their values, that reflects what they believe, what they like. So, for example, when you have let's say that you have a health product, we're going to like connect you with a translator that is going to understand and be passionate about your product. And the initial process is going to be for them to be in the program, in the course, as if they were a user, as if they were an end client. So they're going to study the same that everybody else, and they're going to truly get it, like really be in tune with that. And once they have it all like learned, the localization process starts, and they can start like getting the product available to other people in the new language, but in the order that is most appropriate. Because like when you're an entrepreneur, you think that, you know, this opt-in page is the most important thing, this has to stay, this has to be ready first. But sometimes that's not the case. Like sometimes, you know, the smaller lessons are the most important. And like maybe not the big product that makes the most money is the first thing that you should translate, because otherwise people won't connect with you. And so the project management is going to be very focused on the the process that the real user is going to be going through, from the lens that the translator is going to experience. And at the same time, because they have taken the course and they're working in the localization, they're going to be able to provide tech support and customer support for the people. So it's part translator, part VA gigs, but they're going to be well taken care of, and they're not going to be, you know, overloaded. Because again, like I've been a translator, I know how long it takes. They're not going to be like, okay, you have to translate this book in a week, because I know that that's not how it works. So that's something that I'm that matters a lot to me, for the people that are doing the work to feel safe, to feel well compensated, and to know that their work matters. And I'm focusing a lot on that process being part of the system.
Yeah, awesome. What else would you like people to know about your future program?
Well, we're going to be launching the first part, which is like the mini course for people who are entrepreneurs to do it themselves. Like we're going to teach them how to hire a translator, how to choose which languages would be good for them, because sometimes different cultures work better with certain products. Like maybe your product would do better in Japan, maybe your product would do better in Germany. So we're going to teach them how to select that, and also which steps they should take so that they can really connect with their I call them allies, the VA slash localization agent, and so that everything is working in good synergy, and how to truly make it work so that they don't have to like get all sorts of technical issues in the way. I also talk about technical aspects and all that. And we're going to be launching that in mid-November, mid to late November, like around the 16th to 20th. We're going to have the 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 card open, and a little before that we're going to have a few live stream sessions where we're going to be teaching how to do it, but you know, more basic. Like we're going to just try to answer some questions and provide that. And our done for use packages are going to be available at the end of the year. So if somebody's looking to start the year with a whole new business without really having to change anything, without having to build a new product and change their branding, and just like find new people that are already there waiting for the solution. We hope to be able to help them with that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it has been an inspirational and really a point for the future talking to you, Martha. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yeah, that is great, and we really hope you brilliant success in the future.
Thank you so much, and I am really happy to be here, and congratulations on your show. I love it. So I will see you around.
Thank you, Martha.